Okay, we're on to the next episode. Let's get right to it. How is everyone doing today, guys? My name's T Codes, and if you are just randomly going through my the Amphibia playlist, and you're just like you want to see what my thoughts on Grime's Pupil is, let me just say that I have a really busy day. I have a really busy weekend, ahead of me, and so I want to get these videos out. So I'm just doing this. I'm doing this with Mother of Olms and the Blaze Hal House episode, this like back to back. So I'm like, okay, let's get into this. This is episode 53B of the series, or episode 13B of season 3, Grime's Pupil, which is pretty much what it is. Exactly that. It's a Grime. It's General Grime, or not even General Grime. It's just Grime at this point. He is just. I mean, he was never even a general. He was a captain, and it's like what? So the majority of this episode is Grime and Sprig, because in order to, they're like, okay, so we have a plan now. We gotta go get the Calamity Box, but how do we get the Calamity Box? Because we gotta go through Andrias' army. And it's like, well, we can start by making an alliance with Grime's sister Beatrix and the Toad army. And it's like maybe we can do something with that. But of course, it's like, well, hold on. Frogs and toads have never really worked well together, so it's like, I don't know if they'll be so on board with this. And so, of course, that's also the fact that with Sprig and Grime, they have a bit of turmoil, because, of course, the last time Sprig and Grime really interacted with each other was when Sprig fought him in true colors, and like Sprig beat him. So like Grime, of course, is holding that over him, and it's like, Sprig's holding that over Grime, but of course Grime is like, I haven't forgotten about that either. It's like, I really do love the interaction between Grime and Sprig in this episode, because again, yeah, it's like the fact that they do have some turmoil. Like Sprig's like, you tried to kill my hot pop, and then he's like, I love Grime's just like argument there. He's like, he was a political, he was like, he was like a political. I forget exactly what he said. I just know it's like, he basically was like, it was a political situation that they needed to address. It's like, yeah, sure. But I mean, yeah, it's like, really the majority of this episode is with Sprig and Grime. They're trying to really work together, and things get a little more difficult when Beatrix arrives and is like, so you want us to join you guys in an alliance? Why should we? And it's like, us frogs can definitely be tough. I mean, heck, I beat your brother. And it's like, oh boy. And Beatrix is like, you beat my brother? Okay, let's see. Bites. Let's see how this is. That thing turned back on again. Okay. So yeah, basically the whole thing turns into Beatrix, or no, well, let's see. So Beatrix, like she hears that Sprig beat Grime, and so like, nah, the frogs made you soft. I'm out of here. But then Grime is like, no, you're not gonna leave so easily. And so he challenges Beatrix to like this cage. So basically the best way to say it is like a cage match in like a Thunderdome. And so Beatrix is like, okay, fine, you do that. It's like winner joins the loser. It's like loser joins the winner's army. It's like basically that's how they settle the terms. It's like, and of course Beatrix is like, but I get to pick who you get. But of course I get to pick who I fight. And so she votes to fight Sprig, because it's like, if Sprig can beat my brother, let's see how you do against me. And so that's like the problem is like, it's like Sasha's like, you just bet our entire resistance on a fight. It's like, what? And so of course that means like Sprig and Grime are very, they're like, oh, we just screwed that whole thing up. And so I even love Sasha just like, okay, no, this is what we're gonna do. You two need to sort things out, work together, help. It's like, Grime, you need to train Sprig how to fight, and you gotta work with each other, or else you will be banished from the resistance for life, or until the war starts. It was a really funny moment between the two with that. But yeah, so the majority of this episode is with Sprig and Grime, them kind of bickering at first, but then of course it's like, well, I mean, you gotta think about the bigger stakes, and of course it's like, well, maybe we do have strengths that we can work off each other. Like, I mean, because at first Sprig doesn't want to work with Grime because he's like, I can fight. I mean, he's like, us frogs are quick, agile, we're accurate. We can fight on our own. And Grime's like, huh, you think that could work with that brute strength? That freaking. It's like, so. Of course, that's the thing. It's like at first, you know, they're kind of against each other for that, but then eventually they get attacked by hyenas, which is a combination of a hyena and a bee, which is the weirdest thing I've never even thought about. I'm like, because it's a play on words, hyenas. It's like hyenas is like, what the freaking. All right, sorry about that. But so yeah, Sprig and Grime, they basically, after they get attacked by the hyenas, you know, Sprig is able to, of course, fight them off because he's quick, he's accurate with the slingshot, he's very agile. While Grime, on the other hand, he's just brute strength through it. Like he literally gets stabbed in the back by one of the the sting, like the hyena's sting or hyena's sting, and Grime just takes it and he just literally just like goes berserk in a like berserker rage and just like takes him out. And so of course for Sprig and Grime is like, whoa, like Sprig's like, whoa, where did that strength come from? And then Grime's like, huh, you thought that was impressive? What about your speed? I've never seen a frog move that fast. It's like, of course that's when they realize like, oh wait, we can use the similarities. And like that's the thing, like Grime teaches Sprig how to not like he teaches Grime to use like different tactics that he has. Like at first Grime was training Sprig, you know, more of just like the Toad way. It's like, well, it's like it's like, are you able to punch through armor? Is your tongue strong enough to break a rock? It's like, not exactly, because you know it's Sprig. He's small. He's a kid and a frog and a kid. So I mean, it's a very intriguing montage at first, but then once Grime realizes that he can use the Sprig's speed, agility, and accuracy, that's when he's like, oh, now I can figure it out. Because that's the thing, when you have speed, you can build momentum, and then if you build momentum, you can bring more power to an attack. And so that's exactly what happens with Sprig, is like, because he has speed, he's able to build momentum, give more powerful attacks, so that way it can work. It can substitute for strength in that situation, and that's exactly what he does. He's just able to go through the training by doing that. I even love it. He comes in and he kicks Grime into a tree, and like it's like, whoa, are you okay? And Grime's just like, whoa, that was amazing. It's so great. I love it. I just love moments like that. But of course, it all goes to the fight in the Thunderdome with Grime's sister Beatrix, which is a very intriguing moment, because at first it's like, you know, Sprig just has to beat her with his agility and the strength that he learned by fighting as a toad. And it's like, that was the thing, like Beatrix is like, what is this? What is this? That's it. I've never seen a frog do this. And it's like, Sprig's like, yeah, because it's not just frog, it's frog and toad. It's like, you know, it's like speed, strength, agility. It's like, haha. But then of course Beatrice is like, yeah, well, you're still a frog. So it's like she literally like catches him after he did pretty much, I guess the best way to sum it up is like he did like his spider Sprig thing, you know, he's swinging around inside the Thunderdome, and he's like coming in left and right with these different attacks, because again, he's so quick, he's so fast, it's like quick strikes. But then if Beatrice eventually catches him and is, I mean, you know, I think she's pretty much just like, yeah, I'm just gonna bear hug you until you die. I feel like it's like, okay. But luckily Sprig is able to break free, because, you know, it's like, as Grime talked to him about using like his rage, it's like, if controlled, if used properly, it can be a secret weapon. And so Sprig, that's exactly what Sprig does. He uses that rage to break free from Beatrice's grip, and eventually he even headbutts her, which was it was both the coolest thing that I've seen, and it was one of the weirdest things I've seen. I mean, And I mean, for the show, I guess is the best way to sum it, because it's like, we've seen Sprig fight, we've seen Sprig do some pretty crazy stuff. It's just him just straight up headbutting a toad to knock her out was such a weird moment, but honestly, meh. But yeah, so he beats Beatrix, which means that the toads need to now join the resistance. But of course that means, like, well, I mean, toads and frogs working together against Andrias, that's gonna help, like, unite them a little bit more. And it's like, okay, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. And we're gonna see exactly where this goes. And it's like, now they have a bigger army, which of course helps them against Andrias and all that. And then I even love at the end with Grime is like, I know I'm dribbling on the message a bit here, but haha, you lost to a frog, you lost to a frog, haha, my sister lost to a frog. It's so freaking dumb, but I love it. And then even Beatrice, like, you know, like he just there with her brother, just like teasing her, and she just like does the whole hammer, just little hammer the head and knock him out the routine. But again, it's the timing, it's the setup for the joke, and it's funny and it's great. And again, it's episodes like this that you need in between, like, the bigger, like, oh, what's the overarching story, the serious stuff, the canonical stuff that is gonna bring all that. And it's like, you need the lighter episode like this. But of course, it's not filler, because one, it drives the plot, but it also builds character between characters. And, you know, in this case it was Sprig and Grime realizing that they can use their strengths together, they can actually work together as a duo. And it's like Grime's pupil, so it's like Grime's kind of training Sprig to be be a fighter. It's like, it was really cool and I liked it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was pretty much it I got for this episode. So, like I said, I'm sorry that I wasn't able to really, like, just take my time with these episodes, which I think is a pretty big shocker, because I think these episodes are just gonna be as long as they usually are. Just, to me, it feels very, you know, it feels a little bit more rushed because of the fact that, like I said, I have a super busy weekend ahead of me, so I'm really trying to get these out. And so, with all that said, thank you all for watching. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment, leave a comment. And if you want to subscribe, subscribe. You don't have to. I'm just saying. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next video.